begin this half hour with the dish. Anthony's already excited about the drink. Award-winning chef Chris Coombs.
You didn't have to say that.
Award-winning chef Chris Coombs is just 30 years old. He has pursued a culinary career for more than 2 decades, starting out washing dishes at a seafood restaurant on Boston's North Shore.
By high school, he knew he wanted to be a chef, and now he's executive chef and owner of 3 top restaurants. D-Bar Duave, Boston Magazine's Best French Restaurant for 2014, and Boston Chops, named one of America's best new steakhouses by Food and Wine Magazine. Chef Chris Coombs, welcome to the dish.
Thank you for having me.
Right? Was that the correct?
It is Duave, that's correct.
What have you brought for us here this morning?
Okay, so today we're actually doing some dishes from Boston Chops, which is our new steakhouse. And we actually have, first in the middle, we have these huge prime bone-in ribeyes. They're about 40 ounces each.
Wow.
And that steak itself in the method of cookery was actually featured on the cover of Food and Wine Magazine in February. So that was really an honor to see that happen. And then we've got a rendition of a baked potato. So this is what I call a rendition. So I'd never been to a steakhouse where I enjoyed a baked potato. So I decided to create what I call the poutine stuffed baked potato, which is basically a twice baked potato with poutine gravy, potato skins, bacon, cheese curds, sour cream.
So it's all folded into the mash.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all melded in. It's really quite nice. And then we've got one of my favorite soul-satisfying dishes that we actually serve at all 3 restaurants, which is French onion soup, which just has a deep, rich bone broth with a beautiful Comté cheese from the Euro region of France. And then we have some gorgeous seasonal Brussels sprouts au canard with a little bit of bacon. So basically we roast the Brussels sprouts in duck fat, which makes it extra delicious. Then a little bit of sherry vinegar, some bacon, really, really tasty stuff. And then for dessert today, we brought a little bit of chocolate cheesecake with local cranberries. And to wash that down...
You're killing me.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good meal. And to wash that down,
Tupperware.
we brought this excellent cocktail that we feature at Duave called the Andrea Gale. And that uses a local spiced rum from 20 Boat, which is actually a Cape Cod distillery. And they make this really cool, artisan, flavorful rum. And we're going to enjoy that today. And
Well, let's talk a little bit about you, though, because you knew that you wanted to be a chef in high school, and I read that you were even taking like cooking classes on top of your regular classes. How did you know?
Right. So 20 years ago, it wasn't that cool to be a chef yet. And, you know, from age 10 or 11, I just knew that I wanted to cook. You know, I didn't really come from a family of cooks, but I did have a neighbor that owned a seafood restaurant. And as soon as I was old enough to...
Oh, just look at that. That's so cute.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Go on, I'm sorry.
So basically, I started working in my neighbor's restaurant. I just got addicted to the energy and the people and the rush. And I've always been super, super energetic, and it's been a great outlet for me.
So you got the job in the seafood restaurant just because you just needed to work, right? It wasn't. It was.
I mean, that's really how it started. I mean, you know, in middle school, when I saw kids with Nike Airs and baseball cards, I was like, I want Nike Airs and baseball cards. And my father was like, well, you're going to have to earn money to get the things that you want, and that's the way life works.
Right.
So that was a great lesson, is that, you know, you can get anything that you work hard for.
Well, I mean, you mentioned money. Your restaurants are doing very well. I think I saw something like, of the 3 restaurants, it's $10 million that you guys are bringing in. What's it like running such an empire?
So ultimately, you know, when you get to this size, it's really all about the team. And I have tremendous chefs in each restaurant. I have tremendous managers. And honestly, from the bottom up, we employ so many passionate people who just love working in the restaurants and making sure that the guest experience is as good as we possibly can be on a nightly basis.
You started with 2 smaller restaurants, but Boston Chop, which you've opened now, has what, 165 seats?
It's a big restaurant, yeah. So D-Bar is about 58 seats. You know, Duave's around 72, and then I had never even worked in a restaurant with over 100 seats, and then I went and opened Boston Chops with 165. So it's a completely different animal, and just figuring out how we feed that many people and still keep the quality as high as possible. That's been the biggest challenge with that, but I just love it.
I have to say, I love this potato. I want to hand you this dish.
This is not your ordinary baked potato.
I want to hand you this dish, and as we get your signature on it,
thank
we
you.
want to ask you if you could have this meal with any person, past or present. Who would that person be?
Okay, so if I could have this meal with 3 people, okay, I would like to have it with Thomas Keller, first off, who's been one of the great culinary inspirations of my career. And then, secondly, I'd like to have it with Anthony Bourdain, because he seems like a pretty fun guy to have dinner with.
Calm.
Yeah, and then thirdly, I'd actually like to have it with my grandmother on my father's side, from the French side. And the reason I say that is she actually passed of an aneurysm when she was about 65, which made me about 12 years old. And she never got to really see where my career went. And one of the things that was always storied was about how she used to make some of these real French peasant dishes. But I don't remember that because I was so young. So for her
She'd
to
be
have
very
seen where I
proud.
am now, I would just love that.
Chef Chris, thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
for more on the ribeye steak, head to our website, cbsthismorning.com.